More work for The Undertaker, sung by Mr. Dan W. Quinn, Edison Records. Listen to a song I'm going to sing you. You may laugh till
You're listening to Petrified. This episode, The Rictus Grin, starring Margaret McAuliffe, Anna Sheils-McNamee and Ali Fox.
He sat round the house the other night.
I'm thinking something like this. Happy Halloween, folks. Thank you so much for being here this evening. It's great to see you all. You look great. Not you. You know, you don't have to come in fancy dress, but thanks for making the effort anyway. I was actually thinking earlier about how much I love when people go over the top for Halloween. It means a lot. My own Nana went absolutely gaga on the decorations this Halloween. I haven't seen her in ages. I tried to knock into her earlier today, but there was no answer from the front door. But I did have a little peep in through the window, and there were cobwebs everywhere and a huge skeleton on the couch. God bless her, she means well. I was actually going to dress up as a clown myself, and I bought a pair of shoes off a drug dealer around the corner. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. All day. Halloween was the best, though, when we were kids. Would you agree? Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, God, it is such a nostalgic thing, all those years and years and years ago. And in your case, years ago. Long time. Were you delighted with yourself when you originated Halloween? I'd say you were. She was in the same class as the Salmon of Knowledge, this one. Were you with Finn McCool at lunch break? I heard he was huge. In Irish mythology, come on. My ma used to put us in black bin bags every Halloween and then roll us down the end of the driveway when the bins were being collected. Gas. It was a wholesome time. And then, you know, all the little games that you'd play at Halloween, bobbing for apples and the ring in the barn, bracken, knocking on all the doors, trying to figure out which one of the neighbours was your dad. We had some laugh. And I'm not ashamed at all of my desperate upbringing. People would often ask me, you know, do you have any skeletons in the closet? And I'd say, no. The bodies aren't finished rotting yet. What is that?
What?
There's something at the back of the room.
It's just one of the staff. You gave me a full shiver up my back there.
Sorry, Jesus. I thought it was something. God, where was I there? Black bags. You didn't see anything at all there. Sorry about that, everyone. Black bags. Do you ever have regrets, Francis?
What? Where did that come from? You are weird tonight.
Oh, no, I'm not. I just got thinking, I thought when we were kids, there was this little boy on our road. He was a gorgeous little thing, and my nana always used to say, oh God, he's so lovely, you just grab him up and run away with him. And I hated him because no one ever said that I'd be grabbed up and run away with. It wasn't cute. And one Halloween, this little fella's with all the kids knocking around on the door, and I tell him that there's a house down at the end of this dark lane that gives out the best sweets. But really, there's actually nothing down at the end of the lane, there's just trees. And he's off down the lane, and I run off. And when all the kids come back from trick-or-treating, he isn't with them.
Don't say it, Jack.
So his ma goes out looking for him. And there's a big black plastic bag down the end of the laneway. And it's mad windy that night. And the bag is blowing left and right and left and right. And there's something weighing the bag down. And the ma picks up this big stick and she pulls back the top of the bag. And I did say the little fella was small, didn't I? Now he's even smaller because the head has gone off him. And she starts screaming. And I remember thinking when I heard, whoever did it kept the best bit. He was a lovely little thing.
Good Jesus, Jack. I hope that's not in the show.
No, I just got thinking about regrets there. All right, come on, Jack, straight back into it. Here, Francis. Knocky, knocky, knocky.
Who's there?
Johnny robbed Granny.
Johnny robbed Granny. Who?
Johnny robbed Granny.
What? Okay. You're not yourself tonight. You want to just leave it?
Francis, tell me you see that. Tell me you see that.
There's nothing there.
There. Moving along the back row. There. And it's coming up the middle of the chairs. There. It's like a shadow. Oh, God. Do you know what that reminds me of? Ah, Jesus. He's still such a lovely little thing.
Sorry. It worked for Ali when she needed to get your attention. Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Laughter Lounge on this pre-Halloween night for a very special episode of Petrified. Can I get a ooh? Peter Dunne and Liam Geraghty, the creators of the show, unfortunately can't be here tonight, but fuck them. What you do have is me. I'm the amazing Anna Sheils-McNamee. Yes. Thank you. That is my actual name. I'm a comedian and actor. I'm real and I'm not a character.
Oh, you're some character, all right, Anna. I'm Ali Fox. I was playing a character, but I'm not now. I'm also me, and so much more.
And I'm Margaret McAuliffe. I too am an actor. But am I me? Let's see. Anyway, Anna, Ali and I are going to be your hosts for this very special event. I think this evening is going to be memorable. I think some of you will never, ever be able to forget what happened.
Boring.
Okay, to explain how things will go, we're all going to be very truthful because by the end of tonight, it doesn't really matter how much you know. We're each going to tell you a story. And we're going to tell you why we're here. After that, whatever happens, happens. But just to remind you all came here of your own free will, yeah? Nobody forced you. Now, before we continue, can we all get a round of applause for Ali Fox's comedy at the start of the show?
Thank you. Thank you. Since it went a little bit wonky at the end there, I happily won't accept the credit because actually what I did there at the top of the show was not my set. I didn't write that.
However, Ali is a very successful comedian.
Thanks, Max.
Anna here is a comedian too.
I noticed you left out the successful part, Max.
Did I?
I notice we're not the only comedians on the stage tonight.
Okay, give it over now, thank you. No, what you heard me do there at the start was from somebody else's body of work from a long, long time ago. A comedian called Jack the Lad from Galway. Does anybody remember him?
I can see you're all looking a little bit confused. Will I make it worse?
Like only you can.
Okay, listen up everyone, this is a very important bit. The Galway Examiner, October 25th, 1993. Headline, 6 killed following inferno. Subhead, tragedy in Galway as massive fire takes lives of local men. Article, a mystery blaze completely destroyed Dickie's LL, a venue in Clarenbridge in the early hours. Firefighters found the remains of 3 people in the basement of the building where live events were held. Authorities believe the bodies may be those of popular local comedian Jack the Lad, his manager, Francis McGovern, and an unidentified employee of the venue. During the fire, a partial collapse of the building killed 3 brave firemen, etc., etc., etc. Is that enough?
For our purposes, yes. Jack was trying out his set in front of his manager, Francis, for an act that was to take place in Dickie's LL on the night of the 25th of October, 30 years ago.
Now, little detectives in the audience, or as I like to call them, little nerds, might be wondering, how do we know this if none of the people survived the blaze to tell us?
Because something did survive the blaze. Backtrack. I was originally told by Peter and Liam that our show tonight was going to be creepy stories for Halloween with a little bit of stand-up. Ali and I were asked to be in it because we're successful comedians. Shut your fucking mouth, Mags. And I think Mags was only asked because she's done loads of Petrifieds already and she'd turn up to the opening of a bowel. How many episodes, Mags?
15.
And how many have you done, Ali?
1.
Yes, me too. But just to let you both know, it was me, yes me, who got the call first.
Considering the horrors that happened after we all said yes, that is a mad thing to be boasting about,
Yes,
Anna.
but if it was a competition, I would probably win.
Yeah, okay, anyway, nobody cares. Originally, the plan was to leave it to us to come up with the material ourselves because we are the comedy professionals.
2 of you.
Oh yes, you're an actor.
But we were given a few little pointers. Liam said that I should check out Jack the Lad because we had similar styles. So I did. And the first thing that came up was the fire in Dickie's LL. So Liam knew what he was doing. Anna and Mags, you can relax your cacks there for a minute. After reading about the fire, through sheer bad luck, I happened to be going down to Galway anyway for a hen. And the day after the big night out, when the rest of the girls were dying in bed with their heads hanging off them, I asked one of the girls, my friend Deborah, if she would drive me down to the original site of Dickie's LL, where it used to be. Now, there's absolutely nothing there anymore, just a burnt out patch of ground, but the fire station is still close by. So we get down there and there's a young fella out on the forecourt polishing his hose or whatever it is the fire brigade do, and there's nothing actually on fire. And I get talking to him. And he told us something that day that got me into this whole mess. And I'll never forgive this chap for it. Clarenbridge on October 24th, 1993, when the fire brigade realised that the blaze was going to be under control eventually, but they definitely weren't going to be taking anybody living out of the building. This guy takes his mask off for a bit of a breather. He sees a tiny little tape recorder in the rubble, somehow not damaged. He picks it up and he clicks it open, and there's a little tape inside the recorder, rewound to the beginning, as if it's just waiting to be played. So picks it up, climbs back into the cabin of the fire truck for a little bit of quiet now, and at the same time there's still people running around outside, screaming, shouting, people calling out in the night. But as soon as he presses play, all of that just fades away, and all that can be heard is the sound of this recorder. And when it ends, he gets out of the cabin looking sick. And he starts to tell the lads all about it. And as he's talking, he lets out this huge scream and points out into the dark, saying, "Can you not see that? Can you not see that? What is that?" And it's at that very moment that the building comes down on top of him and two of the other lads. Now, that was the story that the fireman told me and Deborah that day, and I needed to know what was on that tape. Now, the fella said that the tape is kept locked up and away from everybody because it's considered very unlucky, and he told us just to forget that he had said anything. Well, that worked. I just gave him 20 quid, he gave it to me, end of story. It was that simple. It was the worst money I ever spent. When we got back to the party gaff, Deborah went in for a little hangover lie down. She had the fear. Only she knew what was coming my way then. I listened to the tape out on the patio on my own, and even though the sun was shining, I was absolutely freezing. Do you want to hear it? You'll be sorry. Please.
Francis, tell me you see that. You have to tell me you see that.
Jack, you're freaking me out. What are you looking at?
There. Moving along the back row. And coming right up the middle of the chairs. It's like a shadow.
There's nothing there. No, stay on the stage. Don't climb down.
God. Do you know what it reminds me of? He's still a lovely little thing.
What are you laughing at? Stop laughing. There's nothing there.
He's looking at me. Oh, wait. He's turning his head now.
Stop being a prick.
He's looking at you now. Oh, there he goes.
How did you move that chair? How is that?
Knocky, knocky, knocky.
What is that shadow?
Answer me! Shit. I've ruined the joke.
Who the fuck is moving the chairs?
Just laugh, Francis. It's too late.
Jesus Christ. Jack, I can see it. That's not a little boy.
Laugh like you get the joke.
Back on the patio, just as the recording stopped, two hands rest themselves on my shoulders. And I laughed and thought it was just one of the girls, but before I turned around, I saw this woman standing beside a tree at the very end of the garden. And she was staring right back at me with this blank look on her face. And I wish I could tell you that I couldn't have moved even if I wanted to, but I did want to move very much. the woman standing at the end of the garden had her whole lower jaw missing, and her back was all twisted like it was broken, and she was looking straight at me, and just as she lifted her hand, her head went back at the same time, and this sound came out of her, a sound like you were trying to laugh with no jaw. And because there's nothing there to hold it in, her tongue falls out and sticks to her neck, dangling right down. And that's when she started to run. And thank God that was the same time that I was finally able to move, and I ran back to the house.
Thanks, Ali. So
you saw the thing straight away, just like me?
So next
Because
up...
some people said it took longer.
Anna, you keep cutting across my lines.
What do you mean lines, Mags? Everything I'm saying is really me, and Ali's really Ali, and you're really you, right?
I'm going to butt in here before you two start punching the head off each other. I sat crying then in the house, but the woman was gone. Now I know why. Anyway, there's another creepy bit to the story, okay? You know the venue that burnt down? Dickie's LL? That was just a nickname that was given to the place by the locals. The real name was the Laughter Lounge.
When you were asked to do this gig, you never actually met with Peter and Liam, did you?
No, just a phone call with Peter.
And I had a Zoom meeting with Liam. He couldn't turn his camera on. It was all a bit vague.
Well then, suffice to say, there's going to be a little bit of freewheeling here tonight, ladies and gents. We're not exactly sure how this is all going to pan out now.
I'm sure.
Why are you being so weird, Mags? Hold on, because you didn't say it earlier. To reiterate, I'm definitely Anna Sheils-McNamee. She's definitely Ali Fox, and you are...
Here.
Oh, God, you're not giving anything away, are you?
Nope.
You're having a grand old time there by yourself, aren't you?
No, I wouldn't say I'm having a grand
Oh, fuck this. I'm up. When I got into doing comedy, my humour was based around being quite shocking. And Peter suggested that I tone it down a bit for tonight. So have a blast of this. Did you hear about the pair of anorexics? 2 birds, 1 stone. Yeah, I love that one. I was at a kid's playground the other day, and one of the mothers asked, which kid is yours? I said, I haven't decided yet. She looked a bit shocked, so I decided to lighten the mood with a joke. What's blue and murders women in parks? I said, me and my new dress. No, really though, really. I was never a big kid person. My partner and I decided we didn't want any. Our son is taking it very hard. I remember when my brother was going to have a baby, and I wasn't terribly happy about it because I never really wanted to be a mum. Kids make you really think about the big things, but the only thing I'm certain that comes after death is a necrophiliac. So that's not too bad, is it? No, Peter still nicely suggested I check another comedian out, like Liam suggested Ali check someone out. Peter has a great way of being really smiley and incredibly hurtful at the same time when he messages me. He's a bit of a prick, actually, and I can't stand him. And I feel totally comfortable saying that now because, as I said, he's not here. He didn't bother to show up. See? Massive prick.
Liam isn't here either, but he's nice.
Anyway, Peter the prick specifically said to check out a guy. Another guy. Where are all the fucking women?
It was 2 men who recommended the comedians, Anna. I guess women weren't considered funny back then.
Now I know another that's not quite funny now.
Shut up, Mags. Fucking red setter. He said to check out a guy called Doug's Circus from the 1950s, so I did. Doug was far milder than me, went a bit easy on the audience in my opinion, or so I thought, until I found out that 3 people died at one of his shows. I love making my audience feel uncomfortable, but he left me for dust there.
Until tonight.
Mags is a serious actress, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, there aren't any recordings available of that fateful night when they croaked, but I did find an interview Doug gave a week before he died. It might begin to explain why we're all here. Maestro, please.
And then her skirt blew up.
Now that's funny.
I wasn't called the Clown Prince of Paris for nothing.
Really good.
So, I've enjoyed being your guide down memory lane, Edgar.
Between this and the other interviews I've lined up in Geraghty, it's going to be a great piece. Marking the anniversary.
Marking the... I see. Well, sadly I have another visitor on the...
Doug. Come on.
What?
You know what people really want to hear.
You little shit.
3 people died, Doug.
You come into my house, by my fucking deathbed, and smile and nod for 20 minutes, and that was in the back of your head all along.
3 men on the balcony were electrocuted where they stood. Their internal organs were fried.
You're disgusting.
People said they could smell the flesh cooking.
Where is that nurse?
But you continued your set to the end. You kept telling jokes, Doug.
Because you have to keep going if no one laughs. You have to. You tell the joke again until someone laughs, or you'll be one of the 3.
Excuse me?
I figured it out. No one else did. That's why I'm still going.
Calm down, Doug.
I'm going to tell you a joke.
Stop trying to change the subject.
No, I'm not. Let me do some math.
Doug.
I'm Doug Circus.
I know.
Knocky, knocky, knocky.
What are you... I'm not a... Isn't it supposed to be knock knock? Who's there? Why are you counting on your fingers, Doug?
Dr. Fingerfather.
Dr. Fingerfather who?
Dr. Fingerfather.
What? I don't get it. That doesn't even make sense.
Don't you have somewhere else to be, Edgar? That's old sleaze Tim next, right? Tell him my joke. See, do you get a laugh?
That was from a YouTube video, believe it or not. 5 interviewing fails. The incident referred to was a gig Doug did in Salon de la Rigolade in Paris in the 1960s. Towards the end of the gig, a lighting rig fell into the audience and electrocuted 3 men. The old sleaze Doug refers to, Tim, was a comedy rival who was making a big comeback in the same venue. When I looked him up, I found this. The Sentinel, October 25th, 1983. Headline, Tragic Accident in Paris Kills TV Legend. Subhead, Authorities Baffled Over Reasons Behind Roof Collapse. Article, in a shocking occurrence, 3 people were killed when a ceiling in the famous Parisian venue, Salon de la Rigolade, collapsed, falling into the basement area famous for live shows. Beloved television comedian Johnny Tim and Metro reporter Edgar Dutch and an unidentified staff member died instantly when the floor above gave way, crashing down, etc., etc. Edgar is a reporter from that interview you just heard. I found this all out later. I was too hysterical to keep looking the night I watched the YouTube video. You see, I was sitting at a desk in the spare room, hunched over the laptop in the dark. And as it finished, 2 hands took hold of my shoulders. I thought it was Tig, my much better half. I jumped and then I laughed and I lifted the hands off my shoulders. I turned around to call Tig a dickhead and there was no one there. So I turned back. And when I looked down under the desk, looking at me, with her face almost resting on my knees, was my dead grandmother. Her skin was purple with bruises, like when she died. When I saw her in the hospital, her eyes were closed, but they were open now, full of blood from the ruptured vessels. Just like Ali, I couldn't move. Even when she started laughing, I was frozen until her hands lifted up from the ground and went to close around my ankles. That's when Ty came in, and that's why I'm here tonight, because what happened to both Ali and I was, without realizing it, we heard the joke.
Max.
Yes, Miss Fox.
When did you hear it? Because...
And you see in the corner there? There? That's where the child's body was thrown. And there was a trail of gore leading up there. And that's where the wall used to be. And there were feces, look, rubbed into the wall covering a picture of Our Lady. And you see the stage? Well, this is the worst place. Because you think a dead child might be the worst, but the things done here were done to people that were still alive.
Anna.
Which is much worse. What?
Stop. It's my turn. Hello, everyone. You'll be glad to hear that I don't have a stand-up comedy set due to the fact that I'm not a comedian. As we've been told many times tonight, I am an actor. So the reason I ended up here is not through a suggestion from Peter and Liam about comedians to look up. It's another reason. Let me read you an email I received. Hi there. I hope you don't mind me contacting you directly instead of through your agent. I need a great actress for an upcoming gig, and I think you're perfect for the part. It's an unusual role, so it would be much better to meet and talk about it. Oh, it goes on a bit, but that's the gist of it. It's dated October 19th. Bit vague, you might think, yeah? But believe me, I've agreed to a lot weirder things in my career, so I met her. And where, you might think, was I to do that? Here, in this very venue. She said the door would be unlocked and to just come downstairs. When I got here, I opened that door and it was pitch black. There was nothing. No one here. Except there was. There was a middle-aged woman sitting in that seat. She was just much older. She was just staring at the door, as if she was sitting there just waiting. Hi, I said. She didn't respond, but she broke into the biggest smile. She didn't move to get up, so feeling really uncomfortable, I made my way over, and she just kept smiling. But as I got closer, I could see that there were tears running down her cheeks. So I stopped walking. Hi, I said again. No response. Balls to that, I thought, so I just went to leg it out. But then I thought, oh God, what if she runs after me? So I decided to back my way out. That's when I knew I wasn't there alone. There was someone else there. That's when some hands rested on my shoulders. I was fucking terrified. I couldn't move, but my eyes could. So I looked down at each shoulder, and there was nothing there. But I could feel them, fingers digging into my shoulders. I made a little sound. The woman said, "Shh." And that's when the hands went off my shoulders and slid around my waist, like something was hugging me to it.
You never told us that, Benny.
That was when the woman stood up.
But, Mags, you were supposed to tell us everything.
Well, I didn't. There was a big vein standing out on her forehead. Her eyes were bloodshot. The tears running down her cheeks were pink, like there was some kind of blood mixed in. But the smile, that's what I remember. The smile on her face, it wasn't a smile. It was like the skin was being pulled away from her teeth by hooks. As if she didn't have a choice in smiling. She walked towards me, and her mouth opened wider and wider, and she turned her head to the side, and her face came close to my face, and her mouth got nearer to my mouth.
So wait, hold on. How did it stop? Because our things didn't touch us. So how did you stop that?
Who said it stopped? She put her mouth over my mouth, her wet cheeks rubbing against mine, and she started laughing into my mouth, all muffled. And then she stopped, and the hands went off my waist. She stood back and said, "Finished." And I ran out up that stairs and got sick on the ground outside.
Oh, Mags, that's horrible.
So when did you hear the joke?
I didn't.
You told us you did, you fucking liar.
Is this even going to work now? Is tonight going to work?
You did hear it. That's why you're here, Mags.
We're not here for the same reason.
Oh my God.
Maybe it doesn't matter, though.
Of course it matters, Ali. I'm not waiting till the end of the show. I'm telling them now.
Anna, don't.
No, you don't, Mags. You don't tell the truth.
Is that the biggest problem we have?
A question for you, liar. Do you speak French?
I don't need to. I know the question you're going to ask.
What does Salon de la Rigolade translate as?
The Laughter Lounge.
And it's the same venue.
Where 3 men were electrocuted at Doug Circus's old gig.
And it's the same venue.
That the roof caved in, killing 3 people.
And it's the same name as the venue.
That burned down in Galway.
Killing 3 people, and then a wall fell down on them.
On 3 firemen.
3 people dying in the Laughter Lounge, in the basement, after you hear the joke. The next time you're in the right place, 3 people always die.
So, if by some wild coincidence something awful was to happen here tonight, which unfortunately it's going to, the question is,
which 3 people in this room are going to die? This has all been one big trick.
And Peter isn't here, and neither is Liam, but us 3 fools are. So we needed to get as many of you into the room as possible, so that hopefully, by the law of averages, one of the 3 mightn't be me.
so little detectives in the audience, or as you know I call them, little nerds, might be wondering, why would you bother coming out tonight if you actually thought you were going to die? Because the next time I was in a venue, just myself and 2 others, I was definitely toast. And now, a little message from Liam and Peter.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Petrified Live. Thank you for coming. You've helped us become everything we wanted to be. So sorry we couldn't make it tonight. You're starting to find out why. Why? Why?
Okay, before any of you attempt to leave, here's a warning. The thing that caused all this has already happened. You've already heard it. So, if it is you tonight and you try to leave, you're just going to take the curse with you. There's no escape. So, just sit back and take what's coming to you. Not yet.
He's given us more time to explain.
He's not. He's letting us marinate in fear. Must make us like tastier or something.
No. I think it's because he knows who the first two are going to be. He just hasn't picked the third one yet.
No, I think we have to tell everybody exactly what's going on here now.
No, Ali, I think if we do
No,
this...
because we've heard the joke and that's what's done it. And you've also heard the joke, but the thing is, it's never the same joke. All good comedians know that the structure of a joke is important and the way you tell the joke is important. But more significant than all of that, there has to be somebody there to laugh. Because if nobody laughs, then you die on stage. I think we need to hear from Doug Circus again.
Knocky, knocky, knocky.
What are you... I'm not at... Isn't it supposed to be knock knock? Who's there? Why are you counting on your fingers, Doug?
Dr. Fingerfather.
Dr. Fingerfather who?
Dr. Fingerfather.
What? I don't get it. That doesn't even make sense.
Knocky.
Don't, Ali.
Let her. It makes no difference.
Knocky, knocky, knocky.
Who's there? Is she counting on her fingers?
Entire nation doomed.
Entire nation doomed. Who?
Entire nation doomed.
Just don't fucking laugh, Max. All right? Don't. There's no need to do that. Like, it's happening already. Ugh. Okay, someone asked me before if there was like a mathematical equation. Like, was there a template to the perfect joke?
Well, you certainly didn't find it.
Oh, I really hope you're one of the three, Max. The setup for a joke works best in threes. Paddy Englishman, Paddy Irishman, Paddy Scotsman. You need the three to really build anticipation for the punchline.
It's a trinity, a holy trinity.
There's another set of numbers that's significant. They're not numbers typically associated with comedy. They have much darker connotations.
You all heard the joke, we heard the joke, but it's never the same joke. The numbers just have to be the same.
And what makes this joke so horrible, and not like the jokes that you'll usually hear, is the addition of the extra letter in each word at the beginning of the first line of the joke.
Knocky, knocky, knocky.
Dr. Fingerfather.
Entire nation doomed.
What do they have in common?
Every word has the same amount of letters.
6, 6, 6.
Knocky, knocky, knocky. 3 words, 6 letters. The same as the other answers. In a knock-knock joke, there's a total of 6 lines. Knock, knock, who's there? Boo, boo-hoo, what are you crying for? Now that might seem like 5 to you, 3 from the joke teller and 2 responses. But no. In order for the joke to work, in order for it to be good, the 6th line is the laugh. It doesn't work, Mags, unless someone laughs.
3 and 6, 3 and 6, 3 words, 6 letters. The Holy Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. 4, 6, 6, 6. The mark of the beast. The Antichrist.
If they are 3, he is 6. But he wants to be more, and not just 1 6, 3 of them to rub it in.
What does the Antichrist do? He laughs at God. Where is the most disrespectful place to laugh at God? In his house, in his lounge. All of the venues mentioned here tonight, Salon de la Rigolade, Dickie's LL, the Laughter Lounge, they were all built on the site of former churches. Desecrated churches that were knocked down once they were defiled. Oh, hundreds of comedy venues around the world were purposefully built in places that were once holy, but are now used as places of filth.
And sometimes they recorded what they did. Play the recording, please. In 1912, the body of the child was found there. The shit on Our Lady there, and the gore there. You already know where the altar was, here, where the stage is. The unholy congregation gathered to worship the beast and cast their attention up here. At the degradation, the sobbing, the blood, the panic, at the human waste being spilled. And they laughed, entertained. Can you imagine lying up here on the altar, your head thrown backwards, hanging off the side while they did wretched things to your body in a stinking room full of filth? And from upside down, all you could see were hordes of people, their huge smiles, laughing in your terrified face.
This place, like all the others that still stand, have been built over, but they're still satanic temples. And without realising, people show up and laugh up at the altar.
A long time ago, someone made a deal. He got what he wanted, but souls had to be paid in return. But how to trap them? He made a joke. Not just any joke, a spell, a curse. All someone had to do was listen. And then, like some horrible glue, 2 other souls were pulled along. Now, long after that person is dead, the joke lives on and on. When you hear the joke for the first time, you feel 2 hands on your shoulders as a promise.
And Peter isn't here, and neither is Liam, because they made a deal too. How else do you think a crappy little podcast can fill a venue like this? They said other souls as payment. We here, well, some of us here, are the payment.
So in a couple of minutes, the lights are going to go off. And when they come back up, there will be 3 less people breathing in this room.
But before you go, you will see someone.
Yes. You see the worst thing you ever did. The person you hurt the most. Like Jack the lad saw that kid he sent down the wrong way. Like Anna saw her old gran who she left in the nursing home to be beaten to death.
Mags, Jesus Christ.
Like Ali saw
that poor woman that went in front of the train when I fell into her drunk on the platform.
Took her jaw clean off. That's what you see. The worst thing you ever did. It's the devil's way of proving that you're fit for hell. Are you ready? He's letting you stew.
God, Mags.
What?
The lights just went off there and you didn't seem to care. It's because you know you're not going to be one of the three. There's a way out.
Is there?
Doug Circus didn't die. 3 people in the audience died, but not Doug. So what did he do? And what did you do?
I could tell you, but it really wouldn't make a blind bit of difference.
Oh, humour me.
Okay. Do you remember in my story when I got the email on the 19th of October to come to the Laughter Lounge?
Vividly.
I bet you were assuming that that was this year. That was in 2010. How long have you known me, Anna?
Around 10 years.
That's what you think. Oh, I'm an actress, all right.
An okay one.
Anna, can you tell everyone here at the back row what your full name is?
Anna Sheils-McNamee.
The real Anna Shiels, actress and comedian who's been in one episode of Petrified. Which one?
Rollover.
And you are?
Ali Fox.
Ali Fox, actress and comedian who's been in one episode of Petrified. Which one?
Creeps.
I've been in 15 episodes, but here's the thing. I'm not Margaret McAuliffe. That mad woman who emailed in 2010 is. My real name is... Oh, if I told you that, it would kind of defeat the purpose.
You're fucking with us now.
I've known you years, Mags.
10 years. That was 13 years ago.
You're married with a kid.
No, Margaret McAuliffe is, not me. What that woman did was pass on a character. And I have to admit, it wasn't mouth to mouth. That was just a bit of drama. It was mouth to ear. And she didn't just laugh. She explained everything. Now, I don't blame her for what she did, because she's still alive. And Doug Circus, inverted commas, he lived to a ripe old age because he wasn't Doug Circus.
I know what the difference is now between your story and ours. You didn't see anyone. No guilt.
And I didn't hear the joke first time.
And the hands that went around your waist instead of resting on your shoulders, that had to be just somebody else in the room.
Something to note. When you make a deal with the devil, you give your name. All of you here tonight who booked tickets, you all put your names into the website. Anna and Ali, their real names are on the posters. In all of the other venues, the dead's names were written on the staff sign-in sheets, the guest list, and on the posters themselves. It's a very, very simple thing, actually. Never let the devil know your name.
So, the lights are going to go down, and when they come back up, there's going to be some screaming. There might be a fire, the roof might fall in, there might be something in the drinks that you idiots were guzzling down. But death just for 3 and not for you, Max.
Just for 3. And everybody else is going to be absolutely fine, especially me.
Why are you being so cruel?
Because I don't care. Because it's not going to happen to me, so I don't care.
You are a monster.
Am I, yeah? Well, I think you're about to be one too. What if I told you that there was a possibility that you could pick the 3?
That's inhuman.
Oh, is it? So you'd rather just take your chances than knowing for a fact it won't be you?
How do you pick?
How do you know if she's telling the truth? She's been lying about everything else.
Yeah. How do you pick?
Come to the front of the stage.
There's no reason why this would work, so...
Well, then what's the difference? How, Max?
Okay. Anna, stand here and look out on all these people. And when you see the person you want to be chosen instead of you, all you have to do is point at them and say the first line of the joke.
I can't do...
Oh, well then just take your chances.
I'll do it, I don't mind.
No, Let me see. Who am I going to pick? Oh, yeah. You'll do. Knocky.
She'll do. Knocky.
Ali.
Knocky.
Listen to a song I'm going to sing you. You may laugh till you haven't any breath. People nowadays seem to think it very funny when they hear of a violent death. Poor little Solomon Levi, to heaven has got a pass. He searched round the house the other night to find a big escape of gas. More work for the undertaker, another little job for the casket maker. At the local cemetery, they've been very, very busy on a brand new grave. Solomon blew himself. Reuben, he was standing on Broadway, up cable car, he heard an awful lot. He wanted to see how the old thing works, so he looked down in the slot. A car came up behind